Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So this weekend is the Miller Masters at Helena, Montana, at a place called Sleeping Giant Lanes. So I am getting ready to head out of my house, getting loaded up and ready to go here. So what am I bringing with me? Well, let's take a look. All right, so I always bring my urethane ball. So I have the Buffalo urethane, which is a weaker symmetrical piece. And on the right, I have the Big Bro Burn Up LE, which is an asymmetrical solid urethane. My benchmark bag, I have one of my all-time favorites, the Incredible Phenom. In the middle here, I have the new Big Bro Assemble, and then towards the end of that benchmark bag, I have my Blizzard Glacier with the strong PSA layout that you guys saw in the video review. My middle bag is going to have my Goat, my other Blizzard Glacier with the weaker PSA, my spare ball. I really only have two balls that I keep in the middle of my arsenal. And then over here is my transition and my symmetrical bag. So I've got two balls for a transition, my Graffiti Tracker, and I have the Joker Maniac. And then I always keep a decent symmetrical solid with me, and this is going to be the Dynamite Blaze. All right, guys. Well, we made it. Here we are at Sleeping Giant Lanes in Helena, Montana. We're getting ready to go. I am bowling the 1 p.m. squad. We have 6 games of qualifying. There is one more shift tonight at 5. Basically, it's the late entry squad or the squad to re-enter if you don't make it. I am, of course, not going to bowl a second time. If I don't make it, that's it. You know, one thing I never really quite got used to during my couple of seasons bowling on the PBA is getting used to that one and done situation. So you don't have any second chances out there, which means you have to be really on top of your ball selections, making sure you have good ball reaction, and making sure, of course, you're throwing the ball really well. Good thing for me is I've been practicing a lot over the summer with my daughter because she's getting older and getting better at bowling. So I've been right there with her practicing, and I've been getting so much better with my game. My swing is more consistent. I release the ball more consistently now. My PAP has changed to the point where I now have actually positive axis tilt instead of negative, so that has really helped with my ball reactions. And some of these newer balls coming out from Swag are looking really good. So this will be my first chance to get some of these newer releases out on some heavier oil volume. I'm really excited to see what they do. All right, so the midway update here. In game one, I started with my Big Bro Assemble, and that ball was simply amazing. It was giving me all the reaction I could ask for, but just wasn't throwing it very well. So I had a lot of crossovers, but every time I got it in or very near the pocket, man, it was carrying strikes like crazy. I didn't do too much to that ball. I scuffed it up just a touch right before we started, but it wasn't like I really roughed it. I took a 500 pad and just kind of scuffed it a touch, and it was amazing. I just wasn't throwing it very well. Game two, I tried to stick with my assemble. Game one I came out with a mid 190 game, so I was doing okay. But game two, I just did not throw the ball very well at all. So that's totally on me. Had nothing to do with ball reaction or lack thereof. So game two, I shot a mid 160. Going into game three, I kind of felt like I wanted to have more control over the pocket because the assemble, even though it was giving me excellent ball reaction, it to me just seemed like it was so much reaction that I was having trouble maintaining my control over the pocket. So I spent several frames in the beginning of game three trying to get a look with urethane. And urethane, at least for me on this particular pattern, was not working. It was not a good look. In fact, there was not very many people at all that could make urethane work. So I spent a few frames. One was a strike, then I had an open, and then I left a split, and that was enough for me to put the urethane ball back in the bag. After that, I went back to my assemble, and as you can see here, I started okay and then threw a pretty pissy shot and ended up with Greek Church. So as we go into game four here, you'll see that I pull out my Glacier, my Blizzard Glacier, and the Glacier I'm using in the video here is actually my stronger layout Glacier. Just a little slight scuff on the surface of the ball, and it was awesome. We ended up on the end pair of the bowling alley towards the high side, and I had excellent ball reaction, had a touch of miss room, ended up shooting 230. Okay, so tournament summary. You know, honestly, it wasn't the worst tournament I have bowled. Um, you know, but it also wasn't the best. Obviously, I did not make the cut. You know, after that 230 game I shot on the high end pair, we went to the other side of the center, and honestly, I don't know what happened. I had ball reaction. That wasn't the problem. I just wasn't throwing the ball very well. After reviewing the video, I can't really understand why I wasn't throwing the ball very well, but my game just went down the drain after that 230 game. I ended up shooting a very low, I think it was a 140 something, and at that point, you know, that's game 5. There's only, I think we only had 8 games of qualifying, so technically there still would have been a little bit of time to try and get back into it, but not unless I go back to back like 250s at that point, because I was already minus 70 something pins even after the 230 game, because I had some early games that weren't the greatest. But you know, anyways, overall it was a good tournament for me. My spare game was pretty decent on single pin spares. You know, split conversions were pretty low. The one area I know I struggled with a ton was my ball transitions. You know, towards the end of the video there, you saw where I threw a pretty good shot and it just, you know, left me a flat 10. That's kind of where I was at over the last couple of games, is trying to figure out where I should have been playing with what ball. So I missed the transition hop. I was in totally the wrong ball throughout the last 2, probably 3 last games that I bowled. And I was trying to figure out where my break point should be, where I should be standing, what angles I should be throwing, and that's something that you don't want to be doing towards the end of your qualifying blocks. So that's something I definitely need to get better at. So as far as tournaments with me are concerned, my next tournament won't be for quite a while. My daughter's got some tournaments coming up that I'm going to be taking her to, so that's going to take obvious precedence over anything that I want to do. But my next tournament's actually going to be here locally in Billings, Montana, which is great because that means I don't have to travel. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video today. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button down below, and I'll see you guys next time.